And welcome back to Daily Flash. What if the biggest summit you ever face isn't a mountain, but it's actually the life that unfolds when everything just falls apart? Well, guess what? She climbed Mount Everest twice and conquered the 7 summits among many other physical feats. But rebuilding a life after an unimaginable personal loss was her most difficult journey. Dianette Wells joins us now with some inspiration, and I'm excited to have you on here, Dianette. First off, explain a little bit about your journey. I mean, you're from a Malibu mom to an elite mountaineer. Explain, how did you transform your life, and where did this transformation begin?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Certainly.
And it started slowly. It started with getting 10 of my friends in Malibu to agree to climb Mount Whitney with me. And then it just kind of snowballed from there, one mountain and one race and one event at a time.
I always say this. Why'd you climb the mountain? Because it was there. There's a lot of time people say that, right? But why this transformation? Why was it important for you to be able to do this? What would kind of motivated you to want to do this?
That's something I don't know. I saw Mount Whitney starting when I was 16 years old, and I just knew someday I would climb that mountain. So I kind of followed my passion or the desire at that moment, which then became my passion. And I just never stopped. And
Cool.
then it led me to the 7 summits.
So I was hoping you'd say because it was there, but it's okay. Even so. But all right, so along the way, there had to have been really intense moments, maybe even some defining moments. Will you share with us some of those?
Sure. You know, Racing and climbing led to my divorce. But and that was the only negative part. The beauty of my passion was that my kids started then climbing.
Okay.
All of my kids climbed Kilimanjaro when they were teenagers, and then my son, by the time he was 17, he had also climbed the 7 summits. So it was fun to see what had happened with my family doing all these sports, and then a lot of my friends through the years have joined me on mountains, and that's what makes it so special, is doing it with people you love.
Absolutely. The motivation behind a lot of that, imagine trying to find solace in something. I understand that tragic personal loss is really also a key part of you finding some of that strength. But, how did you actually find the strength after going through such a very personal and tragic loss?
Um, well, I think all of us on this planet live through some sort of tragedy at one point or another, or some really big challenges. And it's just staying focused um, on what your passion is. And when you can, through, you know, at, while you're going through these hard times,
Uh
it's
huh.
just keeping your eye on what makes you happy. And if you can go back to that and remember who you are, um, it can help you get through some of those times.
Yeah.
And certainly racing and climbing has done that for me.
Would you mind sharing with us the tragic loss that really started the journey?
Um, so I had been doing sports since 1999. Had finished the 7 summits and done a bunch of ultras and adventure races. And then in 2015, um, my son, who had become a wingsuit pilot, he died doing his sport.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was supposed to do the trilogy, which was Everest, Lhotse, and Nuptse, um, that following spring. And I couldn't even walk around the block. Um, but I was able to sign up for an ultra and get to that race course and be surrounded by a lot of love and a great community, and find joy again in life, and of course in sports, and being out there doing what I love to do.
So, Dianette, so I would imagine, and you probably have heard this a lot, and I don't want it to kind of just be a kind of a side note, but anybody that goes through a tragic, or even if you have a child, losing a child, no one can explain, because everybody goes through a different way. You also hear is like, this is what he would want you to do. Is that, I don't want to be kind of narrating your life, but is this something that your son would want you to continue on and want you to do that? And I think people forget that. Would you agree?
100%. And you know we want to do well for our own lives, but also I thought about, well, someday I'm going to see him again, and I want him to be proud of me that I didn't just curl up in a ball on the couch and call my life over. Um, I want to live and live out loud and enjoy everything that's here, not only for myself but also to make him proud of me.
Yeah.
And yeah, we all go through that. We all go through something, and as long as you can stay focused on the good things in life,
Yeah.
then that's what it's about.
You are 100% right, Dianette. And listen, congratulations on doing this. It's amazing. And I'm certain you want to help other people. So if you want to find out more information, you can get a copy of Dianette's book, Another Step Up the Mountain. Just head to DianetteWells.com. We'll have the link on our website.